Okay, friends, let us now talk of the measures which can be taken or which are taken by the government to control population rise. The very first population control measure is about mass education and awareness. You see, education plays such an important role in controlling population. See, if people realize the importance of small families, if they realize what to do to reduce the birth rate, right, then population will be controlled. So for this, it is necessary to propagate and spread education. We should make society aware through various programs. So we can do telecast of programs through visual media, through programs of on Doordarshan, on cable, because that is the best medium to influence people. Then in schools and colleges, expert lectures can be arranged. Awareness can be created through plays and mimes and songs, etc. In the year 2000, the population policy was declared, and in this policy, the emphasis was placed on women upliftment. See, if women are uplifted, means if their status in life is improved, immediately the population becomes controllable, because a woman who works, a woman who knows about her rights will obviously prefers lesser amount of children. So demographers, people who study population, demographer means a person who studies population, believes that education is the best method for population control. Right? This is the number one. Second program is to make our family planning programs more effective. So to make family planning programs effective, along with public awareness, family planning services and incentives were also increased. Contraceptives like condoms, right, and female pills should be made simple, easy, affordable, so people can make use of it. In the population policy of 2000, changes were made in the programs related to family planning by reducing the importance of sterilization, and emphasis was placed on preventing unwanted pregnancy through preventive methods. See, sterilization means operation. So in the earlier population control programs, stress was laid on sterilization, vasectomy and tubectomy, means operation, permanent solutions. But then many societies took it in a negative way. Governments became targeted. Right? People made fun of the government, and the whole policies actually became a failure. People never went for sterilization, for this operation, because there were a lot of taboo and lot of fears attached with this. Then government changed the strategy. From 2000 onwards, the strategy is to focus on preventive methods. Preventive methods like contraceptives. Contraceptive is a preventive method. So the condoms, the pills, medicines, right? The barrier methods. So when the condom is a barrier, then the IUCD, intrauterine contraceptive devices, all these things are the preventive methods. They will prevent pregnancy from occurring. Next method is increasing the age of marriage. Right? Increase the age of marriage and raising the status of women. So if you raise the legal age of marriage, especially for women, then birth rate reduction can be achieved. So as per this population policy of 2000, encouragement was given to raising the age of marriage for women from 18 to 20 years if possible. Right now the age is 18 years. Right? 18 years. Marriage age for women is 18 years, and for a male, right, it is 21 years. It is recommended that we raise this age from 18 to 20 and from 21 to 23. So if this age is raised, this bar is raised, less fertile years are there, and as you have as you progress more, as you start working, you become busy, and you start planning for a better future, and in that lot of children don't come in play. Similarly, if women's status is raised in society in comparison to women, and if equal opportunity are given to them in the matter of education and also employment, such women themselves will control the family size. Think of it, a working woman will not want more children, right? Okay, the next method is to bring about incentives and also disincentives. Incentives to promote family planning, and disincentives to create a way to stop them from having a larger family. So incentive and disincentive are offered by the government, and they play a very important role in family planning. For instance, those couple who undergo sterilization are given financial compensation by the government, right? That was before 2000, right? They would go like this: if you do an operation, you will get money, but that amount was not so big also, and it was misused actually, just to fulfill the quota of the government. Unwanted sterilizations also occurred. Now China has adopted disincentives or discouragement to control rising population. If you have more than 2 children, or if you have 2 or more children, then some facilities are withdrawn, right? But recently some relaxations have been given. In India also, in the election of local self-government, means the panchayat, and even in the city, the municipal ward, couple with more than 2 children cannot contest in elections. So these are disincentives. In China, if you had more than 2 children, you would not get government job. No government help would be given to you. Even with second child, it would be tough. So they were giving, like, if you have 2 children or more, you will pay more taxes. So all these were disincentives. India cannot adopt any method of disincentive, because again, we Indians are very sensitive people. At the slightest provocation, we will become sad and unhappy, and the result will be that we will not vote for that party who brings about such disincentives in the next election. So parties want to keep our people happy, and so they will not take disincentive, they will always lead to incentives. And next method is to expansion of the medical services and increasing the effectiveness of medical services. You see, the death rate of India has come down, but it is still higher than that of some developed countries. If with the help of science, if we can increase the services and facilities for childbirth and for the health of the newborn, right? If the vaccination programs can become more effective, right? If the awareness regarding communicable disease like AIDS can be increased, if the infectious disease can be reduced, if sex related disease can be reduced, then we can bring about a reduction in the death rate and also the infant mortality rate. Now you will think that if the death rate goes down, if the infant mortality rate goes down, population will increase, not decrease. And we are talking of how to decrease population. But think of it, if the infant mortality rate in the country is low, parents will be happy with 1 child or 2 child. They'll think that it's fine, they are safe. But when the mortality is high, parents are always afraid. Okay, 1 or 2 children, and if they both die, who will take care of us in the in old age? So they go for more children. That is the problem. And also at the same time, if our health services are better, the children grow up to be healthy, and healthy children are assets. See, India was the first country in the world to introduce, let's see here, we are the first country in the world to introduce population policy to control population. A committee was set up to frame new population policy of 2000 under the chairmanship of Dr. M.S. Swaminathan. The Dr. M.S. Swaminathan committee framed the new population policy in the year 2000, and India is the first country in the world for what? To have a population policy. So various measures in population policy will result in increase in social welfare, which will in turn improve awareness against population growth. Okay, so the lesson is over. Now let us just see the important question answers. All the MCQs obviously we are going to do at the same time. Now in answer in one line, let us take the most important answers. What is the population growth rate in the year 2011? Where does India stand in population order? What are the female population per 1,000 males in Gujarat in 2011? Then what is the percentage of rural urban population in India in the year 2011? And define infant mortality rate, again important. Then in question answers, very important answer. Why is 1921 called the year of the Great Divide? Then meaning of birth rate and formula, meaning of death rate and formula, and meaning of population policy. Then the pointed answers for the following: explain population explosion, state the causes of low death rate, again more important answer. Question number 5, the 5-mark answers are given, 3 to 5-mark answers are appear. Again all 3 are very important. Discuss in detail the gender ratio, discuss in detail the causes of high birth rate, very important again, and explain the methods to control population, very important. So you see 4 answers are very important in this chapter: the causes of high birth rate, causes of low birth rate, death rate, and the method to control population, right? And also why is 1921 identified as the year of Great Divide. Do all the question answers, but these 4, right, perfectly do it. Write them down as until it is perfect. Okay, so the lesson ends here. Thanks for seeing the whole series. Hope you understood. Bye.